No need to be alarmed. What you're feeling is a part of the process. And I think a lot of you are at the stage where you're feeling a little on edge, you're feeling a little elevated in your mood, you're feeling a little uneasy. And I want all of you to know that this is a part of the ETD process, the journey, whatever you want to phrase it. It's a part of what you kind of have to go through to feel better through this thing. And I think the awareness of that, the mental health aspect of ETD isn't really well publicized. It isn't really talked about in the doctor's office. And I think when you leave that doctor's office, you think you're going to focus just on the nasal passages, just on the ears, and you realize that it's actually a game of the mental state of mind. So if you could really start to position yourself to realize that your mental health is going to start playing a little bit of ping pong, a little bit of a roller coaster game here, you'll realize that once you're aware of that, you'll start making those adjustments, because being aware of it is, I would say, in my opinion, is 90% of the job, just simply being aware, because your body will take over from there. If you're not sure where your anxiety is coming from, your depression's coming from, you're going to start panicking. You're going to start looking around at other things that are not even a factor. You're going to start looking at what you do for a living. You're going to start thinking about things that are not drawing in this anxiety, this tense feeling, this mini subtle panic attacks here and there. I think a lot of you just need to be aware of that. This is a part of this is basically a symptom of ETD. This is basically a process. And I think it's very important that a lot of you keep that in mind, because it's really just about getting through that. One thing that I always tried to do was, when I had Eustachian Tube Dysfunction, I didn't understand why I was having anxiety. I started blaming everything else but the fact that I was going through this condition. And little did I know that once I started to be aware of it and calm it down, all my symptoms started to fade away. All of them started to just vanish. Of course, there was adjustments in my diet, my health, my lifestyle. But when I got the basis of why I'm having this feeling, it all started to kind of trickle down together, and it started to make sense. When you get to the part where things make sense a little bit, right now you're in this sense of confusion. And I think this condition is explosive to our mood, because we don't understand there's no consistency with anything. Everything is all over the place. And I think when you get to the point where you realize that, okay, if I slow down a little bit and I just calm myself down, realize that, hey, he, she, they, all of you are going through this process, and you realize that, you'll start to slowly calm down. Seriously, you will. And I think that's what's not really talked about when you go into the doctor's office. You don't hear about any of that. So then you start to find that sense of panic. Surprisingly, when you start to feel that anxiety, start stretching. I know it sounds odd, but stretching the body is going to increase the blood flow. Good blood flow is going to start enhancing the mood. Enhancing the mood is going to start lowering the anxiety. So what I would do is, when I started to feel a little anxiety, it sounds weird to go straight to your muscles as the blame. What I would do, I would start stretching the neck. I would say, okay, I'm feeling a little uneasy. I'm feeling a little weird. I'm going to start stretching. Believe it or not, once I started stretching my neck, I realized how other things started to kind of fade away slowly. So when you realize that when you get this anxiety, your muscles begin to tense up. And as it starts tensing up, your body starts to almost feel like a rock, like a stone, because everything's so tight and tense. That feeling doesn't sit well with the mind. Our mind is made to be loose, just like our lifestyle should be loose. It shouldn't be tight and aggressive. So when you start to stretch the body out, not only just the neck, you start to stretch the deltoids, you start stretching the shoulder muscles, you start really working on different areas of the body. That actually translates into loose, which our body likes to feel loose, and loose feeling kind of feel like when you're on transportation, any public transportation, you don't want to be all bunched up, right? You love when there's extra seats on both sides, because you feel loose, you feel open, you can stretch your arms, you can put your purse down, your bag down. So nothing's different than with the body. Loosen the body up, loosen your body up. When you start feeling that anxiety, you start to rise slowly, because we all have that step one process. A little bit different for everyone, but you start to feel that step one process. When it's starting to begin, start stretching the neck, the arms, the shoulders. Bend down, touch your toes, stay there for a little while. Go ahead and sit down on the floor, put your legs up on the wall, let your body just loosen up. And you'll start to realize that that's a great strategy for not only just keeping the body loose, but lowering the anxiety and improving your mental health. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.